Hello, welcome to the After Hours show.
What's up?
Hey,
Hey,
how's everybody doing out there
Doing good.
tonight?
Hey, Primal Goddess, welcome. We're doing an after session chat, a little after hours thing.
Yeah, this is full transparency. We're dipping the toe in the water of it. Because we thought about maybe trying to do this for a Patreon, maybe just having this be a once in a while thing because a lot of
Bless
I
you.
don't know. I don't mean
These
to
are-
completely take over. Bless
These
you.
are stream exclusive,
It's
and
a thing.
they're
We're trying a thing.
Yeah,
Trying a
it's
thing.
a
Trying a thing.
thing. This is going to be stream exclusive until we get a Patreon, and then it'll be stream and Patreon exclusive.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Like I
Maybe it'll
said-
just be Patreon.
We've
like
been
I said,
talking about a
we're
Patreon for
trying-
years. We've literally almost years at this point.
We're trying a thing. We're doing a thing. We're gonna
Yeah.
try it out. See how's it
Yeah.
goes.
It's all
So,
good to miss the main show. This you can also ask whatever questions you want about like the
Of course.
of like the campaign
Yeah,
so far.
so-
We are episode 20, so it's kind of like a little review point. Right now for
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
We can make this like every episode up to 20 so
Yeah.
far, but it's mainly going to be about the episode we just
Yeah.
played because we
Yeah.
just played it.
Mhm.
So, on that note, just how did y'all feel about the session?
Yeah.
I mean, my god.
Woo.
It's one of those things that you're just like it's a nice simple concept for a session, and it turned out very well.
Mhm.
I liked it quite
Yeah.
a bit.
Yeah. I know it wasn't like combat heavy or like story heavy, but it was very like RP kind of.
Yeah.
I love when you get like RP that lets you kind of dig your character more in depth and kind of get to know them a lot more of just like, okay, how do I react to
Yeah.
this situation? What
Oh,
kind
yeah,
of person is my
Dippy.
character?
Dippy fully not preparing me for like, hey, I'm going to have a complete therapy session between Canna and 12.
I
Right?
mean, okay, so a couple of episodes ago in the party episode, when Canna had this whole like deep moment
Mhm.
at
Yeah.
the party, he didn't tell anybody about it in that moment. Like, he said that he told 12 that they were gonna have to talk about that whenever we like later. This was him cashing in on that moment. Was him cashing in on that
Yeah.
like really, really quickly.
Mhm.
And I thought, time to improve both me and Bradley's improv chops, acting chops.
Yeah, I sincerely thought this was going to be the first fight of Canna and 12.
Mm.
Oh yeah.
Because I mean, this is maybe something where like, because I harp on a lot about how dice tell stories in
Mhm.
D&D. Not always. You don't need the dice to tell stories because if roles were involved in that, Canna probably would have caught on very quickly that 12 was absolutely livid
Mhm.
for a moment of Canna making the comment of like, I'm here because you're here.
Yeah.
Instantly 12 is like, now if you die, it's on my head. Now, like, great, thanks for that, brother. Like, and I really thought this was gonna be the first fight between the two of them, but it de-escalated very fast.
Yeah. Because he did not mean it that way at all.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Which is like,
Yeah.
and to be real, I harp on about this too much. Of 90% of conflict you see in movies and whatnot, the movie's over in 5 minutes if there's a conversation. If
Yeah.
there's just
Yeah.
an actual adult conversation,
Yeah.
Mhm.
there is no movie.
Exactly.
Which is what happened here.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh man. I have a fun thing I think would be fun for us.
Okay.
Mhm.
I have 100 warm-up role-playing questions for players right
Ooh.
here.
Oh.
Okay.
I think it would be fun for each of us for
Mhm.
somebody to roll a D100 and we answer
Oh.
a question off of this list
Okay.
about our
Alright.
characters.
My other die just went straight under the
28.
Whoop.
28.
46.
Yes. Which
What did you
NPC
get,
do you?
Dippy?
46.
I did too.
All right.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow. Also,
So one of you roll again.
Avery, what is it?
I got it.
I got this question. Avery, how does it feel to actually have a sibling?
A sibling that they like, that they're aware of.
Yeah.
They're
Mhm.
they're Avery doesn't look at him.
100%. Your dad's just like, no, you're not fucking adopting this child. I'm not a grandparent. He's like, I may be thousands of years old, but fuck that.
I'm not ready for that. I'm too young for this bullshit.
Yeah.
Fine, I'm adopting him.
Really quick, let me say the plan B for this situation, because it made me chuckle.
And it made me wonder why I didn't think of this as Canna either. Go on.
My plan B was if like this kid couldn't have been inducted into the court, I was fully just gonna be like, oh hey, my mom runs an orphanage. Even though kinda she doesn't. It's legally not an orphanage. But
Yeah.
be like, oh no, my mom runs an orphanage. This is my brother. She just doesn't know it yet. He needs a place
Yeah.
to be. We take in.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was fully my plan.
And I thought like if
Like a stray cat.
as soon as I saw
Yes.
that, I was just like, we literally like this is a new sibling in transit for
Yeah.
us. Like
Mhm.
just
This is my
we
brother.
haven't had this chance to stop and get the paperwork yet.
I'm not
So
gonna lie, I didn't know how this was gonna go 100% of like what you guys were doing. And the moment that like you guys just said, oh yeah, we just found him in the woods, I'm like, you should have fucking lied. It's like, when you need to
Oh,
lie,
man.
this is when you lie.
Well, where else was I gonna say he was from?
I don't know,
Like,
man. You guys should have talked about that.
But also, if we're caught lying, now it looks so much worse.
Yeah, it looks so
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
suspicious.
Yeah. But we weren't like, yeah, which is why, like, honesty is the best policy. I was
Yeah.
not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Canna will not lie to a guard.
Yeah.
Like
It's a
it's
good
not
Canna's
in.
too goody two shoes. Had they got Avery, Avery would have asked
Mhm.
20 bajillion questions all in circles.
Mhm.
Mhm.
But
Which
they're just gonna be like, oh yeah, Faye.
Had they gotten 12, he probably wouldn't have stopped. He'd probably just been like, I don't have paperwork. I'm the one driving. We're going to loop around.
Can't,
That's
can't really do that unless you're going, well, even with the mountain.
in the water, unless you're gonna be taking a swim if
one
you're trying to loop around.
hell of a long loop around where you still have to go into another fucking country.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then we would have figured
Oh,
it
yeah.
out by then.
okay. So here's this first question that Donna rolled. Okay.
Okay.
What is currently motivating your character to stay with the party?
Which one do you want to know about?
I guess hope.
Hope?
Yeah.
It doesn't feel fair to know about the kid yet. Like,
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Hope 100%. It's just like, okay, I gotta bring somebody, and
Yeah. Somebody's got to fulfill the
There's-
contract,
okay,
and if
so
it's
there's-
not,
yeah.
going to be Jones anymore.
yeah, if it, like she's with you for that. Also, there's some other things as well, like she's wanting to teach, Lux and stuff. Just like sees a possibility of growth within that, and from like the older campaign, she got that with Garian Core.
Mhm.
And so she's just like, oh, this could be my chance to kind of like do that with somebody else.
Which, by the way, implementing the gatekeeper from the previous campaign
Mm-hmm.
for this child, great move. I loved that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was very happy with that.
There is lore connected to multiple campaigns that
Mhm.
deal with the gatekeeper. And it all helps to build him in this one as well.
Mhm.
You know what? Fuck it. I want to talk about it. The reason why Kenku are so like interested in him now.
Mhm.
So I had a character who name was Damien Voss, who is the son of the gatekeeper. He eventually died, and because when he dies, he met his dad, and like he got brought back as like a death knight. There was this whole fucking thing, whatever. But eventually, he got taken under the wing of his father. Damien
Quite
Voss
literally.
is neutral evil, but in
Oh.
like a like he's a protective evil.
Evil as in like self-preservative evil,
So
not
he
like
is a-
take over the world
yeah.
evil.
His paladin class is that of the conqueror.
Mm.
So his
Mhm.
whole thing was
Oath
to
of Conquest?
get Oath of Conquest. So he wants to get as much power as possible.
Mhm.
And his also thing was to get the much power as possible, the easiest way possible. He got tired of helping his dad with all these souls, and it's just like, why the fuck is there only 2 of us? So this is just above table story and lore. He went to a clan of Kenku, disguised as a Kenku, and basically was just like, if you serve this guy, you will eventually be able to be given flight. And they did.
Oh.
They became
Oh, no.
this clan of Kenku became servitudes to the god of death in the next life and gained angel wings on top of their normal wings. And so now the lore is slightly changed, but it hasn't like gotten far enough along. But if any of you guys were to die, you would see a Kenku show up with the voice of someone that you loved to help guide you into the next life.
Fuck. Oh my
Damn.
god.
Okay.
They would take on the personality and everything, but that is how. So basically, this clan eventually they all died.
Which having like crows, symbol of death, like
Yeah.
be the death
Yeah.
like carriers.
That's cool.
That's fun.
Yep.
That's really fun.
Yeah. So
I just had this sad realization that 12 wouldn't hear anybody.
He would hear Canna, damn it.
he would try.
No, but like for real, like I don't know. When I think about 12 in death to begin with, I don't see him having an afterlife, if that makes sense. He just like keeps going, doing something else. Like I work too much. I don't have time to die. Like
I was
12?
like, yeah, I'm sorry, I don't have time for death.
12?
Excuse
yeah.
me.
I think you would be
I mean,
surprised
we'll
by
cross
who
that
you
bridge
heard, but yeah.
eventually, maybe.
We're
but-
crossing that bridge right now.
You got a fucking rock and a dragon in your area, and now water
Incredible.
elementals.
We're fine.
Was that like all of the random encounters procking at the same time, basically?
That was 3 of them. You guys had 4.
Ah.
So there's the bandits that somebody rolled. I was like, okay, cool. So I can bring in this NPC and shit, which was it's Curter. Curter is somebody that This
Hey,
is an
there you
NPC
go.
that I was very like, you guys need to take this one with you. It's one that I have planned. Whatever. Yeah.
There you go.
But first, Emily rolled the blue dragon.
Oh no.
Which I'm so
Dippy.
disappointed 12 wasn't with Canna, because 12 was fully going to be ready, being like, is that your dad? Did we already find him? Like,
Yeah. But
I love that.
Oh god.
the next one, Dippy, you rolled the water elementals, and then
Perfect.
12, you rolled the rock. That's why I was just like, after you rolled, I was completely silent at the beginning of the game before we even went live. This wasn't live, but yeah,
That's incredible.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh no, this has just got really
That's
interesting.
great.
So
So,
yeah, that's what you can do with random encounters, and now you guys are in a death simulation of just like, get across the bridge.
Get across! Get across!
So I guess let's extend the question to the rest of us.
Okay.
Yeah.
We kind of touched on it with in game with Canna and 12.
Mm-hmm.
So like, do you want to expound upon that, on what's currently keeping your character to stay with the party?
I am only here because 12 is here. I am following 12. I was going to literally quote follow 12 wherever he went
Note.
to make sure he was safe.
Note. Kill 12
All right.
to break Canna.
I mean,
When
that is-
12 almost died and Canna was very concerned, like immediately, like
Mhm.
That is
So,
where,
but yeah.
like my storyteller brain takes over opposed to like my D&D brain. Because narratively, yeah, one of us need to die. That is where the story goes. You don't have happy brothers start a story and end a story. Like that's just
Oh,
not
yeah.
how
Yeah.
it goes.
Hmm.
It can, because D&D can be whatever the fuck you want, but when you're like writing a book or a script or something, normally something fucked up happens. Like,
well, yeah, but because that's what keeps people intrigued.
yeah.
I can't wait for the day that Canna dies trying to save 12.
See, this is where me and you are too much like, I don't know, like protective, because I'm like, oh no, 12's gonna die protecting him.
So here's the thing. Everybody, remind me next time that we do one of these to announce what episode this is. So when we go to look at the recording and stuff, I can put
Oh, that's
down
fair.
what it is. So this is,
yeah.
for anybody that's wondering,
This is
in the
for
future
episode
recording,
20.
Yeah, episode 20. Thank you.
Episode 20.
yeah.
Yeah.
The bridge.
But it's the first one, and we'll
Yeah.
learn that episode 20 is like the easy part. But yeah. So, all right.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to
Let's,
say
Well, yeah,
that out
keep
that's-
in,
loud.
let's keep in 12.
That's Canna's motivation.
Yeah.
Well, I did. All right, so this is where it gets tricky because I don't keep secrets as a player, and I feel like with this character I should be.
Mm-hmm.
12's like motivation is mostly guilt of like fuck, I dragged you guys into people hunting me, and now if I leave, they might still be after you. Like,
Mhm.
like it is mostly guilt keeping him
Mhm.
here.
Oh my.
Oh man,
So
Yeah.
that's interesting, I guess.
Mhm.
yeah, like I don't know. I've said 1,000 times to Dono of like this is a character that is very hard for me to play, and we are figuring it out. That's why I'm
Mhm.
constantly like, maybe I'll change the class up and
Mhm.
see where it goes. Like, because I play idiots. I
Mhm.
play like the dumb folk of just like
Himbos.
let's go himbos. Yeah, because
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
that's me. That's my brain. Like
Mhm.
it is hard for me to be a smart person when I myself I'm not that fucking bright. Like
I mean, you are, but like
no,
in,
but I
in
Next-
certain ways, in
next-
specific
I'm
ways.
calling it now,
Yes.
Bradley. Your next character is going to be a dumbass wizard next campaign. Just
Dude,
like
that's
a,
what I already played on Saga. The
Oh,
D&D
damn.
podcast I was on. I played a necromancer who like was such a fucking idiot. Was absolutely stupid. I think
I love
I need
that.
to start playing characters that just shut the fuck up.
you.
Like,
Oh, here's a character idea for you. Okay, a comic book scribe wizard. So you are a comic book writer, scribe wizard
Oh.
who makes their spells look like they're a comic book
That's
character.
funny.
that
that's
is so
That
Oh
is
my
difficult.
God.
such that is
was-
such a wizard for you. That
A wizard
Mm.
that didn't know how to read, so all of his spells are like
They're just
like
pictures?
hand-drawn pictures of how to do them.
oh my god.
mage
Oh my
armor
goodness.
looks like an actual dope like battle armor or whatever, or like
Mhm.
Gundams.
Oh my god. See, and getting into that just a little bit between like last campaign in Valmira,
Mhm.
Theron was a very like he was very like a subservient kind of like I'm just like I'm here to help with whoever needs help, and if I make friends along the way, sure, why not?
Mhm.
Canna is I'm here to help everybody, and I don't really care who's I don't really care who I have to talk to get to that end. Like,
Yeah.
so it's a very similar character dynamic for me, but it's different because it's like Canna is not so like Canna is recklessly tied to one person
Mhm.
rather than like
Anyone who needs it.
rather than anyone who needs it. And being that way when in his backstory he was just like the private eye, he became the private eye because 12 wasn't around anymore.
Mhm.
And it's one of those things where now that 12 is back, he's letting all of this nervous energy and all of this like, oh my god, my soul brother was not here for a very long time, and now he is, and now I want to get to know him again, and now I want to talk to him all the time, and I don't understand why he doesn't want to talk to me as much. And it's like it's a different dynamic for me, but it's pulling from like it's a little bit from personal like personal like, ooh, let me just chop this part of my brain out and like show it to everybody, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Nice.
I mean, that was Merc for me. I mean, to be fair, Merc was made as a joke character. Donald hit me up and was just like, "You want to be in 3 episodes?" I'm like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, I'll be in 3 episodes." And I made this just like goofball because all he told me was like, "You were kidnapped," and I'm like, "I'm gonna pick someone who this isn't the first time they were kidnapped. This is just something that happens to them." Like,
mhm.
I love how you guys have all of these like, oh, we were, main player characters in every experience in Valmira and in this world and everything. Okay, every time my previous experience with this world and participating in this world, I am the bad guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Granted, you have played in this world that they don't know about, but was recorded. I don't think we ever posted it. That the character was based off of because it was their revivified self, or no,
Oh, that's right.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't think we.
It wasn't like in
we
here
recorded it,
in
but we
this
never
world, but it was in
posted.
like a plane of this world.
Yeah.
We did.
Yeah. Where Shovel was from,
Yeah.
actually.
Yes. So.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
interesting.
I played the Reborn
Yeah. I don't.
version of that
Yeah.
character.
Yeah.
Do you want me to go ahead and spill the beans
Yeah.
on
Go
that
for
one?
it. We recorded it.
Yeah.
It's straight. Go.
Yeah, so I think Dippy is the only one who's got to experience the pure terror of me playing the BBEG in a one shot. What was her name? What did I name her?
I don't remember.
It should
Hang
be
on.
still up, but yeah.
I think it's still up in the. Hang on.
Oh, it is.
I have all of the characters.
Yeah.
I don't
where
play for
was it?
Beyond. I delete characters all the time.
Which, by the way, every one shot that you guys have ever done is significant to the campaign. I want you, like, I take things from it, and it makes it significant.
A group of like an entire party on accident. So I don't want that.
So the rogue that I played for the reborn version of her was Chief Calgo? No, that's not it.
I would also like you guys to remember that you did a Pokemon one shot. That's part of this world.
Oh my god, we did.
Oh wow.
No, that was the dumbest one shot in the world, Donna.
Oh
I
my
love
god.
you to pieces, and that was a blast.
It was
just
I played Caligo Spiritus.
Yes.
As the a rogue swashbuckler blade singing wizard, who is the reborn version of Mara Azrael. Who was the necromancer.
I fucking remember the fun I had in that session.
that session got heated. Oh, that was emotional.
I was awful.
That got like crazy because that shit got deep, and it was like desperate moves being made and shit, and like people started like it's one of those times where everything's so heated, people start arguing about whether the shit works or not.
Oh yeah.
And it was it was, oh my goodness.
Well, it's me against 4 people.
I know.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I had NPCs there with you.
Oh, you had NPCs. They didn't do shit. It was me against 4 people.
The thing is that like though they were like high level characters, you guys were like strapped down to almost nothing.
Yeah.
Against somebody that was completely equipped up the ass. You know?
Yeah.
And it was such a rough but good. It's one of those fights where it's like frustrating, but at the end of it, it's like you remember that shit. Because it's like it's one of those moments where it's just like, holy fuck, we earned that win. There's no question, you know?
Yeah. And she was the prison warden of that prison in the frozen north.
Yeah.
You were prison warden of a death prison. It's like
of a death prison.
Yep.
I was forging death knights.
That was fun.
That was a huge moment too with Wences.
So that's my whole. You guys have all these lovely recollections of. Oh, here is my this experience that happened in the previous campaign or in this one shot. I'm like,
I'm the bad guy.
I'm the bad guy.
I am he who knocks.
I'm so jealous.
Not a little bird.
Brought me on to play a villain once. I rolled terribly. I was like stuck in a gelatinous cube. I was stripped naked, forced outside. They took all my money.
Yeah.
Like,
and then Yip killed you without even seeing it.
For my win.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, it was like I made them fight to kill me, and as the reborn version of her, I was still an asshole.
Yeah.
I'm scared for when I have to play a villain in a campaign because I don't want to access that part of my brain.
I get kind of mean. So I, for some strange reason, I like that evil character switch comes really naturally to me, and that's just a little scary for my own personal. Like, why is this so easy for me?
Yeah.
Why? But
so
I feel like I need to answer the question for Avery though.
Yeah, what's keeping Avery motivated to stay right now?
Honestly, half of it is trying to find their mom.
Aww.
But the other half is oh yeah, because nobody, none of the party knows about that yet. Yeah, because they do want to try to find their mom and figure out why did you agree to give away your firstborn child to Faye? Like how did that end up, being a great idea? Um, but also kind of they're intrigued by everybody, truly, because
Especially 12.
especially yeah.
Yeah,
But
I don't know where either one of us are going with that either.
I don't know
We
either.
have
I
not
think we're just
discussed
figuring
at
it out.
all.
Yeah, no,
Like
yeah,
this-
it's just like okay, this is happening now.
Yeah.
It all started with
12
Bradley's
being
playing a
flustered.
broken sad boy. Damn. Okay.
What a shame.
Like,
Okay.
that's my
Oh well.
character's type.
It was like, that's my character's type. Okay. So, but they're Fae, so they have no fucking clue how to do any of this.
Exactly.
And 12 is a virgin, so he has even less. Of it.
Oh my god.
But yeah, so they're really intrigued by the party and like the world at the material plane at large. Because in Fae, like they grew up around Fae being careful about what you say, and knowing that what somebody says might have a double meaning, and the thing that having to always be careful about that, having to always weigh a person's words, and with the absolute understanding that a promise is a promise. When you give your word on something, you will be held to that no matter what. So if you make an idle promise, you don't promise somebody something idly. So the fact that people are just like, oh yeah, my name's blah blah blah, they're just like, I'm sorry, you're just telling people that? Are you insane? Why would you do that?
Stop giving me all this responsibility. I don't want your fucking life, all right?
Yeah.
God. All right.
So Dippy rolled a 43.
A
46.
46.
46.
You guys both got
Okay.
a 46.
Yeah, but I re-rolled.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I think this is one for Dono to ask us.
Okay.
So the question is, what opinion does your character have on, and in parentheses, certain established groups, authorities in the game world, etc., etc.
Okay. Ooh. Canna. What is Canna's opinion on the intel? Because that's one of the few groups that he's actually been a part of. And stuff.
Well,
what's his opinion on that?
Well, I mean, Intel taught me basically everything I know. They sent me down the path that I'm currently on, and if it wasn't for them, I would, kind of be aimless. I wouldn't be able to help anybody. I wouldn't be with the people that I'm with right now, so I owe a lot to them. And apparently they have banging parties too, but I didn't realize that until recently.
Okay. 12. I'm pretty sure I know the answer to this. But crawl. Like
the city or the government?
The government. The fuck?
If my father is alive, they're just a bunch of idiots. If my father is dead, they're just gonna be ash to warm my boots on.
Ooh. Ooh.
Ooh.
That got me horny. Okay.
Oh. Oh man.
Woo! Okay. Avery. Oh God. What is your opinion on your dad?
Oh jeez.
Now that he willingly adopted a kid for you.
Yeah, that's pretty big.
Yeah.
That's pretty big. I think that's the biggest thing that he's ever done for Avery, I think. Because everything else about their interactions prior to this has just been like, oh, I grew up in this other court, and then suddenly you arrive one day and realize that I'm your child and you claimed me. Great. I was like, at this point I was the fave equivalent of a adult.
Yeah. I like to imagine that what is it? So you don't know how your dad found out about you.
Yeah.
You just I think because we haven't really discussed this, but I think that's something that Avery kind of why me? Why did you choose me out of like whatever amount of children you actually fucking have? There's like that whole thing.
Yeah, because he gets around.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's that whole constant like, why me? Why makes me special out of the rest of your kids?
The first time that you ever met your dad was actually like it was in a court. And he was like, this, like, I'm claiming this
Custody
person,
court.
like custody. He was like, he went upon your court and was just like, no, this one, like, I'm taking, like, and basically leveraged and whatnot to make sure that he could claim you. So
yeah, and then
all
I
of a
think
sudden
that's
now
their
you're
biggest
just
thing.
this dude's kid. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like why me? Out of all of the kids that you have, because like there's he has a bunch of kids. You just know.
Yeah. He's even said, like, I have no idea. Nobody ever tells me anything. I'm just the one.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not the one that carries it.
Yeah. And so it's just like, why did you go out of your way to find me? Right? Is like the biggest, like, what makes me special? What do you want from me? Because it's always with fate, like you want something from someone else, right? When in exchange. So it's like it's this constant, what do you want? Like what exactly do you want from me? For Avery. So whenever Avery doesn't like interacting with their father often, but there's just certain things that they can't do that he can, so they have to come to him. And I think the fact that him just adopting a kid of just, okay, he's your brother now, is I think it's kind of making Avery go, does he want something from me, or is he just like just claiming me? Like that's making them question a little bit about his motivations and what they know of him.
There you go.
All right.
So, yeah, but most of the time they're just like, my dad's a fuckhead.
Yeah,
I'm insane. Oh shit.
And
so very complicated relationships with all things except for Crawl, which can, we'll see how that goes.
We'll see.
We'll have to see.
This is gonna be a fun question. What is the biggest mistake that your character has ever made?
All right. Well, this is fun.
Are you trying to achieve satisfaction, or are you trying to achieve greatness? It's like, fuck, man.
Dude, I want to get that tattooed on me. Like,
Yeah.
Are you trying to achieve greatness or what the fuck was it?
Obtain satisfaction.
No, it was something. I'll be looking.
Go look it up.
Shut up, TikTok.
Okay.
Somebody else.
It's a little loud.
Yeah, the music has gotten a little loud.
Has it?
Yeah. That's a little better. Okay. So, what was the biggest mistake the character has ever made? Which one do you want to know? And it could be any NPC that you guys have met.
I have a question.
Yes.
Avery's father.
Oh boy.
No.
No, alright, fine.
As a DM, I say no. That's for you to find out later.
Fine.
I hold the fucking right to say no at any point in time.
I reserve the right.
But any other NPCs, monsters, anything that you guys may have fought, whatever.
The quote is, "Are you trying to achieve greatness or avoid disappointment?"
Ah, yes.
All right. Sorry, I got distracted.
Which is all child trauma bullshit right there.
What was the question?
What is the worst
What's the
thing
biggest mistake that your character has made?
Yeah. And I opened it up to, is there any NPCs that you guys would like to know the answer to that one?
I'm gonna do a deep cut from last season just to see Dono's gears turn.
Okay.
The robot that only spit out history facts at the end of the last season, has that thing ever made a mistake?
Okay. I believe his mistake, because he's technically like an AI, but like not sentient mind. No, so, like he has things that he's allowed to do. You know.
Yeah.
I think deep down, if he was to have emotions and such, his biggest mistake was probably never saying thank you for the life that he was given by his creator.
Oh,
So
Which would not be a thing that he would have been allowed to do.
I was about to say he
sad.
wouldn't know to do that.
But I think you
mind.
guys actually would have brought him back into a more sentient mind.
Well,
also
that's good.
So, I will say this. He's still alive.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
He's just... If you guys ever go to Silvercrest...
I swear, if we start hearing tales of it.
Or no, it's Victory. You guys have to go to Victory.
Yeah.
Which is the name of the
Yes.
capital. Here.
Does somebody want to answer the question first, or?
I mean, I suppose I would keep the order going, wouldn't I? What is the biggest mistake Canna has made? Oh, I have a spicy answer to this, given his current mindset. Canna would currently think this is not the true answer to this question, but it's Canna's answer would be saving Island's life.
Woohoo! Ooh!
Because
I don't even know the whole story, and I
Oh.
know that's a deep cut.
he
Yeah.
fucking betrayed Canna, and Canna hasn't had the opportunity to speak with them since.
I was backseat DMing when Canna was sad in like the bowl of alcohol. I immediately messaged Donna and was like, "Can we have Dippy's ex-girlfriend come in? Canna's ex-girlfriend be at this party?"
No,
Oh.
no.
I'm not
that
going
would
to answer whether or not that's true.
that would have
Again,
fucking
that's-
torn me
That's
apart.
like writing brain taking over of like, what a great scene. What
Mhm.
a fucking, it's heart-wrenching, but what a great scene.
But the real answer to that would probably be, ooh, biggest mistake Canna's ever made.
Not going to a party sooner.
Yeah.
Nah. Canna's satisfied with the experience that he had, but it doesn't tear his visions of his past apart at all. Probably when something that happened when he was younger, probably.
Mhm.
It's gonna come out sooner or later. I left Canna's younger backstory wide open,
Mhm.
like for it to be tampered with.
You also don't know where you came from.
Exactly. So
Which, by the way,
maybe there's a reason that Canna doesn't know who his birth parents are, and it's
Listen.
because of a mistake he made. I don't know.
Listen, the amount of shit that I have in here, this campaign's gonna get wild.
Oh boy.
Oh Jesus.
So there you go.
Like-
To be determined.
We technically have it to level 15, but I may
Hmm.
be able to go longer if you guys want.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Fine.
12, in his current mindset, would say his biggest mistake is stealing library books. Actually feels deeply ashamed of this. He's like, I could have just
Oh,
talked to
buddy.
a human and gotten the books, but I was too scared to talk to a human. Or like just another being. I was so self-conscious to talk to somebody that I did a crime.
Wow.
Yeah. His actual biggest mistake, I will keep kind of vague, of being in like a military position and whatnot. He thought he really had to prove himself of like, no, I am the toughest here. I am the baddest here. And he might have treated some of his other guards like complete shit at times.
Oh boy.
Really picking fights, really getting under people's skin, like I want to be the biggest, baddest in the yard. And like I don't know how much of the lore has come out of like why he is 12, because there are 13 the 13 top guards are picked for this like high up position. I was one away from being last. I was not that good.
Fun fact. This was an episode that you were gone for in last campaign, sadly.
Okay.
But your dad showed up.
Really?
Yeah.
Before this was even a story.
Actually, we were
Because I was the one that pitched to you the numbers.
I know. Technically, it was after you had pitched it, so I could be able to wrap it into. I had done a few things during the last parts of the last campaign that would make it easier to wrap into the lore of the new one, and to set things up for you guys. So yeah.
Okay.
Like,
but yeah, so
if you, I think we've discussed this, like how Canna was found, right?
Yes. I know bits and pieces.
Have I not told you this part, Dibby? I thought I had told
if
you
you
how this
did,
happened.
if you did, I don't
think I missed
remember
it.
I
it.
remember
Okay.
something about a fishing net.
No, that was not.
Did I write down how Canna was
That was
found?
Aslan or Islan.
Oh, okay.
Islan was found in the fishing net.
The last I will say really quick about his worst decision, and Dono, you can take this where you want to go. I feel like he did something to like the person that was above him, and now there is somebody out there who would have been one of the guards, but 12 fucked him up.
Yeah.
And got booted out of the school.
Yeah.
So.
All right, we can talk about that more.
Yeah.
Canna, I don't know, or Dippy, I don't
Hold
know.
on,
if
let me
you
look at
remember.
let me look at my notes here.
If
Did
not,
I
I've openly told you it. I know I have.
Canna was found on the shores of Shallows just outside of the town of Crest.
Yes.
He was found by a lovely odd couple. You know,
Um,
Marjorie and Albert is who I have the two names for the parents.
So
I don't. Yeah.
So you know,
Mm-hmm.
during
Again.
the end of last campaign, when after you guys hit the button, there were things that began to happen in the world.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that started to happen was that children from the ocean were showing up on the shores near the cities of that.
Mm-hmm. Hmm. So that makes me feel like I'm a deep ocean child.
You were one of those children. Yes.
Hmm.
It was a
This is real,
massive
like,
news
Oh,
thing
Academy?
to have
Oh,
happened.
that's fun.
So
Well, because of like islands falling into the ocean, causing like tsunamis and like deep underwater waves and like shifts of.
there was a whole chain reaction that happened with that you guys don't even know about.
So, just so y'all know, I don't care if you guys keep going. I do have to wrap up.
Okay,
in
no
5
worries.
minutes,
All right.
because I am
Okay.
very
We'll keep chatting.
Yeah,
for
we
a little
answered
bit.
I would
we answered
love-
3 roleplay questions.
Yeah.
We talked
I
about the
haven't
session.
heard Avery's
Yeah.
answer yet.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Avery.
yeah. Avery's biggest mistake. I think right now Avery feels like it's probably an equal tie between Avery not being able to save Shovel. And then we never hashed out the details of it, but Avery has mentioned that they did at one point put their trust in a person that they shouldn't have when they were living in the war camp.
Yeah.
And that's how they learned firsthand about getting backstabbed. We never kind of hashed out, so for sure giving that trust over to that person.
Yeah.
Because it's Faye, it's gonna have horrible repercussions. You know, whenever you're misplacing your trust in a Faye.
It's true.
So I'm sure that's probably like the two that they're most they think would probably be their biggest mistakes.
All right. I have a question for all of you.
Yeah.
Just because out of
Sure.
curiosity. What has been what are your favorite moments in this campaign so far?
Oh God, the party was top notch.
Scotty,
Yeah.
being able to make a Scotty beat me up joke this episode really tickled me. Really got me.
One of the best moments from the campaign so far. Let me
I'm
see.
not. I just wanted to throw that out there. You know
Yeah,
what? I just
it's
wanted
fine.
to toot my own horn. So
Toot toot.
um,
Tootly toot toot.
let me see.
I have a quick answer
Yeah.
if you can't think of
Go for
something.
it.
Me and Canna trying to keep the guy occupied that was interested in our sister, while Canna is also kinda dying, but still being protective brother, and I'm over here like, let's just keep playing tic-tac-toe, trying to make him not leave the building was
Mhm.
fucking hysterical to me.
It was so fun. Like as a player, great. One of the best moments was that fucking betrayal.
Mhm.
But again in character, such a terrible moment. It's kickstarted a whole new like arc for Canna. But
Mhm.
as a player, like fucking, oh my God, what a great moment that was.
Mhm.
Like what a great moment. Also, just like I personally am a fan of like 12 and 12 like 12's first like long interaction with Dream, where he's just like learning his responsibility for Dream
Mm,
or through Dream, is a fun
hmm
thing in and of itself.
Mhm.
that was very that was something that I had no idea was gonna happen. Dono very much like me and Dono has planned a lot out of this
Mhm.
character, way more than I've ever played a character before, and I was very surprised he had surprises for me, if
Mhm.
that makes sense. Like
What did I do?
Dream.
Dream? Okay, yeah. But yeah. Dream was a very fun character which I didn't even like name her. I didn't mean to name her Dream. It was just kind of like that's kind of what you guys just call her, but she has multiple
Yeah.
different names, like the two-tailed fox, etc. But I had originally I had pitched the idea to Ace, and Ace was kind of like, "Don't do this, that character." Like this, not like in a bad way, just kind of like it kind of seemed silly. And I was like, "No, it has purpose. They have purpose." And then, just with hearing your backstory and everything, it's fun to have like a moment where like the clogs go,
Yeah.
or the cogs are turning. And I'm just like, "Oh, I could totally implement this and this and this, etc." Like as you guys are talking right now about your different characters, I'm implementing more.
One very quick thing.
Yes.
The betrayal that Canna had
Yes.
was like it made me feel like a slight betrayal on like me as a human,
Mm-hmm.
because way before 12 was invented, when Donna was like, what characters do you want to play? I'm like, I want to play a warlock.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the first time ever Dono just looked at me and said, no. Dono was like, no, I'm not doing warlocks right now. I want to make like getting like a patron something that happens in the story. You don't just start with it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, what do you mean I don't get to be a warlock? You don't tell me no. And he's like, no, I'm telling you no. I'm like, I'm not used to this. And then to see not just my character's brother, but also one of my best friends get offered to be a warlock, I'm like, that motherfucker.
Yeah, I little did Dono realize that I am not particularly a big fan of warlocks. And so when it was offered to me, I was like, how do I put this to him lightly without ruining my character forever? And
No.
and now my character has been ruined for at least a short period of time.
Oh, it's gonna be fun with this one, you guys.
I keep
I think
we're still on Zoom. I keep trying to call you guys your character names. So they Avery, what's your favorite?
yeah. So I've got to say, I know we can come to Canna's betrayal. Like the betrayal,
Mm-hmm.
that was great because that caught me. I'm like, oh shit! Like I don't get surprised very often by shit when playing, but I'm over here like,
Yep.
Yeah.
lose my shit. But I also really liked Avery's introduction to the party.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's like you see a person in the
Who
field.
are you? A walker.
I loved it so much. It's like you get like it's just like you guys just randomly see a person in the woods. Stealthy come walking in.
That was your introduction. Was one of those moments of like, I don't want to play D&D if you're not at the table anymore. You're so much fun.
They're just like, I'm playing a character that's completely alien
Mhm.
to all of this.
Oh.
So yeah, I think that was one of my I think that was one of my favorite things. Was my character's introduction to the party of just seeing how do you handle this completely alien person entering your midst. That's fun. So yeah, I did roll a question for myself.
Yes.
And it's actually pretty simple. And kind of fun. What unusual talents does your character possess?
I feel like Canna's one of those guys who can like wiggle his like head fins, like wiggling his ears, but he just doesn't do it because he hasn't mastered it yet.
12 can name the capital of all 50 states of the United States without knowing what the United States is.
Oh god, like it's just some deep lore. It's either a vision came from the future or deep lore from the very, very far away past of like this ancient land known as the United States. And it's just like what? Like it's just one of those things that he just like hyper focused on in an afternoon and he memorized it.
As a kid, I used to listen to the like history books on CD. So like history stories and shit like that to help me go to sleep. And all I can imagine is just like 12 randomly just like goes to sleep and that's what's playing. It's just like, what the fuck is going on? And it's just like hearing all this ancient knowledge just be spewed to you. It's like, and because like elves, they meditate and shit like that. So it's just like, what fucking life am I getting here?
It's just...
Do you mind answering first? Because I'm actually going to look at my character sheet and be like, what would make sense? I really don't know.
So, I've got mine. None of you know this, but Avery can play the pan flute.
Oh, fun. Well, fucking, if we're going there.
Okay.
Canna knows how to use thieves' tools.
Really?
That is useful.
Like,
you took the investigator background. That's right.
He has to find his answers somehow.
Yeah.
And now that you're like chaotic, or what are you? You're neutral.
I'm not chaotic. So I was okay. So I started this game neutral good, which was like, all right, neutral good. I'm finding answers, and I will sometimes break the law in order to do that, but most of the time, I will fall under whatever guidelines I have to make sure I'm not like put in trouble. But if I can get away with it without being caught, that's fine. Now I'm true neutral because of my fucking silver tongue. So now I'm just like, I don't care what I have to do, and I don't care what laws I have to break. I will find the answer, and I will preserve myself as long as possible to do it. And like, it's one of those things where I'm still answering questions that in character kind of in a good way, but like that's only because the shift was very recent. But now it's also like, I could answer this a little bit differently because I'm true neutral, and I hope that shift doesn't take a strong hold until I get my new tongue, because like or until I get my tongue back, because like that just sucks. It's like don't get me wrong, I love this like silver tongue's mechanic, but it's also it sucks like that it has not gone my way 3 out of the like 5 times that I've used it so far. It has just immediately gone to intimidation. Oh, that's another one of my favorite moments from this game. Just me asking Canna asking 12 like, how do you think this tongue works, and being like, like trying to say something persuasive, trying to say something persuasive, and then it turned intimidating. And he's like, "Well, what if you tried saying something intimidating?" And then Canna just immediately out of left field, "Your father is a disappointment and a traitor to the Empire." Like,
Oh man.
Well, sitting there with tears in his eyes, being like, "Nope, this is for science." Okay, buddy.
but there was no role made, so he just said something mean and didn't realize.
I love
like,
that, like, my response to you in that was like, or you said, like, do I need to roll? I'm like, Dippy,
No.
in what fucking world is that ever gonna be persuasive?
Well,
Like, think about what you just said. How could that
Oh,
be
going
taken
back to
well?
shit. Okay. Can I say I immensely enjoy the fact, and I know this isn't planned or anything, that every time that 12 has an interaction with Avery, it always ends up being rolled like a nat 1.
It is always the most terrible rolls around Avery. It is so bad.
Just like Avery walks up the stairs the first time you guys see them like roll out of bed. They're just in their sleeping tank top and pants, and there's tattoos everywhere. And Avery and 12's just like,
12 is like, this is the
Oh,
only thing that's gonna
no.
occupy my brain for the next 82 hours. Like,
Didn't we, like, rule that as basically you now have fear cast on you?
yes.
yeah.
12's hidden talent is that he is actually pretty damn good at drawing, and he thinks like his military career wise eventually he is going to be like a cartographer for
Mhm.
like the government in retirement of like, yeah, I'll go and make the new maps and whatnot and get that all situated. Now that he's not in the military, he's like, I could be a tattoo artist.
Well, there you go.
God, all right.
that's funny.
Oh, well, we've been doing this for about an hour.
There you go.
Shit.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I gotta go to bed.
Yeah.
I gotta go.
All
I
right,
gotta-
y'all.
We gotta go to bed.
I don't.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
What are you gonna
Y'all-
do? Hop on VR?
I don't know. Well,
Dippy Sandal.
no,
is-
no. Here's a small side tangent thing.
Yeah.
My VR headset is now in a place where it's like, oh, sometimes I just don't want to work, and
Yeah.
it's like, oh, great.
Mm.
It's either $500 for the headset or $120 for the tether, and I really hope that it's the tether and not the headset.
Mhm.
Or if it gets to a point where it's like, okay, the headset's just dead, fine, I'll just buy like a different headset, like a standalone
Okay.
headset.
Yeah.
Better.
Okay.
Yeah.
To everybody in chat, thank you for hanging out with us. Thank you for chatting. Thank you guys for hanging out with my players and just chatting.
Let's
I
make it
really enjoyed
future-proof.
this. This was great.
Let's-
I
make this
hope you
future-proof.
enjoyed the
And if you're
questions.
viewing
I
this
do.
on Patreon, let's make this future proof. And if you're viewing this on Patreon, thank you for your subscription.
Until next time, we'll be seeing you. Your adventure matters. Roll your initiative. Just
Goodbye.
Bye bye.
Peace.
Bye-bye.
Bye.